welcome into the 8:05 post show. We have just wrapped up day one of the 2023 Surf Ranch Pro presented by 8:05 Beer. We have been here with you for almost 18 hours today of surf coverage, and we're stoked on it. I'm Adrian McCord alongside Mitchell Salazar, Peter Mel. Whew. You guys have a lot to digest.
That was a big meal.
So much surfing today. What's your biggest takeaway, Mitch?
You know, I really love seeing the next generation step up, and I thought Caitlin Simmers was fantastic.
Yeah.
Love to see her in the semifinals tomorrow. But I think overall, just the waves. You know, it's really good to see the surfers in a world-class wave, and just a perfect wave overall.
Yeah, Pete?
For me, the format. The format was a big winner today. Exciting from the very first heat, very first wave with Kelly Slater, all the way to the very last wave tonight. Action-packed. Everything was on the line. Tons of pressure. The crowd being here on site was awesome. So, yeah, the format was a winner.
So much fun to watch these surfers battle it out until the very end. Let's dive in to the women's night session because the pressure was on with only one spot in tomorrow's semifinal available and up for grabs. Every woman brought their best surfing. Let's start with someone who pretty much always brings their best surfing, Stephanie Gilmore.
Yeah, she had a good shot at this, AJ. Unfortunately for her, not moving into the semifinals. And we knew that the right was going to be her strength going into the night surfing session for the women. Had a couple of deep barrels here, but it just seemed like during the maneuver, she was just a little bit out of sync with the right-hander. Put her out of position for an excellent score. Had to settle with a low 7. Even still, we're talking about one of the greatest surfers of all time. And then Caitlin Simmers just got the best score out of the women's night session.
She is the best. I talk about the one rail. That was on display in a huge way by Caitlin Simmers. The best all day long, both men and women, at utilizing that single rail, top to bottom the entire time, and the progression, the element that she brought to the table.
But then you talk about the drama because Joanne DeFay, the last waves of the day, and she knows how to win here, almost got it done.
Yeah, and she had two opportunities, the right and then the left, and it just seems after the right, she thought that the score was maybe going to be a bit higher. It was going to be the score necessary to move up into first place. And she just seemed a bit too casual on the left and not rushed enough. But great performance there by Caitlin Simmers moving through.
And so she is moving on to the women's semifinals, and she has a stacked semifinals to get through because she has Caroline Marks, who made it through earlier today, and then on the other side of the bracket you have Carissa Moore, who is a veteran and a pro here at Surf Ranch specifically, and then Tatiana Weston-Webb, so a lot of experience on that roster, and then Katie Simmers, so
cool.
Gonna be a good one to look through.
Cool semis, really it is. I mean, the youngsters and Simmers and Marks, obviously Marks knows that younger Simmers is coming up, and especially with the performance tonight, that's gonna be a great matchup. And then of course the veterans, you know, with Tati and Carissa Moore. Both of those surfers surf really good on the rights and lefts. We're gonna go back to that format where rights and lefts are gonna count. So exciting stuff, head to head.
It's going to be so much fun. What are you looking forward to?
Well, and 3 people that could be a new champion on the women's side, too. I mean, out of those 4, only Carissa's one here. And I think it's really exciting to seeing a lot of the new blood come up and really excel when it matters. And I think the format actually helped with that. And I'm glad that he brought that up, Pete, because I feel like relieving the pressure and relieving the stress of having to go back-to-back with waves in the qualifying round allowed these surfers to contemplate their decisions a lot more.
Certainly. We saw some changes of strategy as well on the men's side of the bracket in this night session. 2 spots up for grab tomorrow, so it was winners take all, if you will. And let's get it started with Griffin Colapinto.
Well, and he did it, didn't he? This was where he had to perform. He was forced to perform, and he did it. Had the slob air and that release of the tail on that one section. That's where the points of difference were, and he was able to get that score needed.
Yeah, and then an 8.3 right here by Cano. He moved up into second place for a good amount of time, and you know, I thought that he was very, very close to getting a score higher than that and maybe adding some more pressure to Italo. How about the finish, too, from Kanoa? And he performed under pressure as well.
Talk
but
about
this guy,
performing under pressure, Italo Ferreira.
Wow, I mean, spectacular. Both AJ and Pete, I mean, came up clutch. Literally the last opportunity that he had on the final wave of day one for him. So big performance, and he's obviously looking for another Final 5 finish at the end of 2023 as well.
And so tomorrow we will kick things off with our men's quarterfinals. And my goodness, just take a look after Italo finishes it off with authority, with some swag, as he tends to do when he knows he's landed exactly what he needed to. And look at this. Oh my goodness. Pete, what stands out to you about that practice?
Right away, very first heat.
Yeah.
Right? Griffin Colapinto up against Yago Dora. Both excellent out here at the ranch. And, oh, wow, even heat number 2. All of them, let's say. But the very first one that stands out, 10:08 a.m. tomorrow, Colapinto and Dora.
I'd say quarter 1 and quarter 3 to me. Ethan Ewing and Gabe, that's a clash of styles right there. I really like that heat, and I think matchups on paper, that's the best one.
Bianca Ferreira?
That's going to be cool.
Maybe I won't be tired tomorrow.
You're not going to be tired, Pete. The surfing
18
keeps us
hours?
so I know, but the surfing was so fun today. It felt like
it'll be fun tomorrow, too.
the surfer, it was like that break in between the day sessions and the night session. It was just like once we got back for the night, totally new environment.
Yeah,
so much fun.
It was like a different day.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It's
I loved it.
It's the same
It was
day,
the third wind. It was like a third wind of the day.
Third wind of the day. Well, hard to believe that we had to pick 5 moments from today because there was so much fantastic surfing, but we did. Here are your top 5 moments. First and foremost, last chance advance, John Florence and Griffin Colapinto.
Yeah, huge performance here from John right here just to move him up into the top 3 in his opening round heat. And if it weren't for this last wave, he wouldn't have been able to move through. So clutch performance. Didn't move through into the quarters and the night surfing session, but still, he's got to be content with his best result at the surf ranch so far, Peter.
Yeah, he does. And, and in that situation, it was his last chance. Didn't need a big number, but he needed to surf it well, and he got it done, or else he would have finished 4th and been out.
Absolutely right. And then Griff, on the right, looked great as always. I was very surprised that he actually didn't end up winning his heat, but how about that slob right there? He landed 2 of those during the day. I thought he surfed great today.
Moment number 4, let's take a look at Tatiana Weston-Webb topping some world champs in her heat.
Yeah, she did, and it was a big win. When you can win in your first round in the qualifying round, it is huge, and that's something special that she was able to do by topping 2 world champions in this heat. That was one of the toughest heats of the qualifying round.
I would agree, and I think the biggest moment for Tati in this heat personally was that she was able to start off on the right foot. Had a 7 on her opening ride, and that just put her in a good position.
Let's move on to the night session for moment number 3. Colapinto, Ferreira, and Simmers moving on.
Yeah, and the next thing I think we should bring to the table here in the night session, we'll get some LEDs. Let's start getting some design in here and getting a little extra lights.
Hey, just want to say, both these men performed under pressure. I mean, huge shout out to Kanoa as well. He was up in there in the top 2 spot up until this wave right here. But Griffin Colapinto, handling the pressure, stepping up to the plate, and then Italo. There's a reason why he's been a former world champion. And I just think if it weren't for this last barrel to air combo, there's no way he's getting this score. So this was clutch and as good as it gets right here at the end.
So good, and he absolutely knows it. Katie Simmers.
Best move of the day for you, Pete?
One of them, for sure. I would say that, I could put it down to, but watching again the warm-ups and then being able to see it in real life and execute with the jersey on in a moment with all that extra pressure. She was a standout, but then to go do it like she did it tonight, awesome stuff.
Unbelievable. Speaking of awesome stuff, the Surf Ranch champs winning their heats. Moment number 2, Filipe, Gabriel Medina, and Carissa Moore looking strong.
And we took the shine off of these 3 because we went into the night surfing session. It was new, it was radical. But let's be real. To beat these 2 people out there tomorrow is going to be a tough task. Both Filipe and Gabe looked awesome. I'm really looking forward to their heats tomorrow, Pete.
I am too. Again, I talked about how maybe I might be a little, shaded because of the fact that I need a lot of sleep. I've got a big machine that needs some sleep, but I know that the action will bring me up. It'll take, a nice cup of coffee, and I'll be ready for you guys tomorrow.
We've got coffee for you, Pete. Don't worry about it. Carissa Moore not sure that she needs anything to get her going. Coffee, anything, because she was just on it today.
And you know what's the most impressive part about it was that she was able to break the 16-point range total without breaking a sweat. And I thought that was extremely impressive, knowing that she had a very talented heat out there in the water, but she just went out there and executed her own game plan. Focus on herself and always try to better her scores that she already was carrying through to the next round.
And our top moment of the day goes to this man, Yago Dora, his second left, a 9.37.
Wow, and that's what we talked about, why that first heat is going to be so gnarly, is this man and what he does on these lefts. He's just as good on the rights, but his left performances, Kelly had mentioned again, if you're a goofy footer who can surf the right really well and have the opportunity on the lefts like this, you're going to have a good chance of winning this event.
I'm just going to say this event's won with your performance on the left. Everybody surfs so good on the right, and the right's such a good wave. You need to be better on the left than you are on the right. It's as simple as that.
Simple as that. We will be back with you 10 hours from now. We will be back for the Samazon Dawn Patrol starting at 9:30 a.m. local time. Thanks for being here. Day one, Surf Ranch Pro, presented by 805 Beer. That's a wrap.
We're in the night session. This is one single wave, all on the line.
It should be an exciting night of action right here. When do you get to say that? Last chance effort for McGillivray. Kelly Slater, first wave of the night session for him. How's that layback dagger on the outside? Oh, Kelly goes down!
Oh, I'm baffled, Mitch.
It's kind of a blur now. I don't usually fall right there.
The young Californian from San Clemente. Strider, how's this angle?
Oh, it looks like Friday Night Lights, baby.
Yeah.
Come on!
Wow.
Griffin, Colapinto, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this. John's one. He's here to play under the lights.
An 8.3 for Kanoa Garashi. John moves out of the top two. He's definitely fired up. He knows it's coming down to this wave. What does he have for us? Throws the fins out, stomps the reverse in the flats. Scores coming in and gets it. Just alone.
Wow.
Blowing tail out the back. That was insane right there.
The 8-time world champion, Stephanie Gilmore, looking to beat a 7-point ride at the moment from Lakey Peterson deep in the barrel. She's out.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.